Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Bravo, We're Black. And today I have got my number one, top correspondent when I need someone with a good take in a jiffy, in a break. Okay, we have Phillip Solomon here. Phillip, how are you? Thank you for coming.
Of course, black blessed boots on the ground, all three B's. Let's go.
Hallelujah. So let's get straight into it. This is honestly a hot topics episode, but also a fashion episode. Well,
Important.
fashion is a hot topic. So
Important, always.
the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion looks have dropped. And okay, I will say at first, when they showed like a preview of the trailer, I was like, what is this?
What is happening?
Um,
Right.
where are they going? Why do they look like this? And also, it was the background that was not upsetting, but it was just like it felt like it clashed. But the full version of the looks dropped, and I am just enamored by these looks. So the first thing we're going to do is literally go get into the looks and rate them. And you know how much I love a rating, child. So I'm going to share
We
my
love
screen.
a rating here. And my thing is, I've been okay. I always want to judge a look from head to toe. And so when everyone says it looks so much better standing up, I want to be like, listen, I'm with you. I love that.
Mhm.
Except we've been doing this for
Oh,
enough years.
that was
It's a
me.
reunion. It's a reunion. You're going to be sitting down for 97.4% of it.
Oh,
So it needs to actually look better sitting down than standing up because that's how people are going to remember it. That's what's going to actually air. Like, all of us know we're going to get the full video head to toe, whatever else. But to be honest, if you actually watch the reunion, it needs to be a good look like from the mid
from the jump.
ribs up. Yep.
Because when you know better, you do better. And these are our
Honestly, true.
veterans.
True.
These are our veterans. So they should know that you can't have the opportunity to say, well, you gotta see the full look. But I feel like I will make an exception because these are Atlanta ladies. And also the looks are so damn good standing up. Like, let's just get straight into it, baby.
They do know how to stand up. They knew how to stand up well. Okay, that's fair.
Bare minimum, okay? Number one that they have on the website, Jamia. And this is we're not talking about the season, y'all. We're not talking about the season. We are talking about the look. We're also talking about the second round BBL that she is insistent upon showing us and everyone in the room.
Okay. I actually love the cutout and the silhouette for her. I don't usually, but with all of this metallic and all of this fabric, and I think we can all admit in seeing her in some of her confessional looks, she's a smaller lady. And so if you don't give us that cutout and show that you have like a tiny waist going into those big hips, then I do think that like you do lose the look a little bit. So I also understand why that cutout had to be there just to give us a little bit of a visual palette cleanser.
Exactly. And I will say it's giving a little bit of Hello Little Mermaid, like she's in a clam,
Yes.
but the
Yes.
most fabulous clam I have ever seen.
She's giving
And
us
that
clam
produces
on clam, clam slam all day, every day.
okay, a clam that produces pearls, honey. I feel like we
Yes.
we can go. Last time I did the Valley reunion looks, we did it on a scale of 5. So let's do this on a scale of 10. For me, especially because I love the way that she has the big chunky rings going on, but it's not too much. And she picked an updo. A downdo would not work on this. This is honestly a solid 9, 9.5.
Yeah, I'm going 8.5 just because I know that she can serve a look standing up, but her posture when she sits does not do good things for this dress or for her in general. I want to recommend a specialist for some scoliosis. I don't know what's happening here, but I will say she can definitely give you a look standing up. I just want her to maintain that level of poise and elegance once she's on the couch.
And that is fair. Okay, so you 8.5, 9.5. So she's averaged out about a 9. Angela. I am a fangela. This is absolutely my favorite look. Standing up, sitting down. I mean, I know that it kind of is a basic, like I see this dress on Fashion Nova, but for some reason the glam, the way that it just looks against her skin, the strappy size 12s that she puts up on Charles,
Listen,
this is just nasty and disrespectful. Like she looks beautiful. What do you think?
she looks like, and go with me on this one, a
Here.
chocolate Jessica Rabbit. Am I wrong here? Like it's just like the
No,
same
absolutely.
silhouette. It's the hair, it's everything that I'm like, wait, I hated it, but the more I looked at it, I was like, wait, I kind of love it. Actually, the more you think about it, you're like, wait, though, for
Yep.
her age and for her body type, she's not a small woman. So I think this really does a lot to bring her in at the hips. The hair is
Right.
covering the shoulders, which are, again, not wide in general, but compared to some of these other smaller women, it could look
Yeah, these
wide.
women
So,
are
like, I under
tiny.
right. So I totally understand why the choices were made that they were. I love it. For me, easy 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to give her a 9.5 for sure. If it's closest to a 10 that I think I've ever like given someone in at least five looks of reunion looks. Angela, you are everything. Okay, Miss Phaedra, Miss Phaedra. I like it, but I feel like there is a lot going on, and I don't know if I would have did the curtain swap bangs with this.
I think that for me, this is my 9.5 out of 10. And I'm going to tell you why. I think that
Really?
she has experimented with a lot of bad blondes. And this blonde against this emerald, I was like, you finally found the good relationship. It's like she almost does glam from the neck up and then from the neck down, and they never communicate. And so I'm always like, what is happening? She always looks good on either one or the other or separately. But this, I think, is one of the first times for her that head to toe, the look is cohesive. I also understand why she did the two pieces on the side because she opted for that with that low of a neck. Normally, you would have to bring in like a chunky necklace or something because she's a small
Right.
woman. And so I do
Tiny.
appreciate that in lieu of the necklace, she was like, I'm just going to give you a little bit of hair on the side just to frame the makeup, to frame the mug. All about it.
Ooh, okay, I will accept that. For me, this gets my 8.5. It's not bad. It's just I think that the neckline, like the sharp neckline, and then we have the material is very intense, and then we also have a train. It's just a lot going on, a lot going on. But
There's
you
a
know
lot
what
happening here.
will say is that it could have went worse, and she's so
Yes.
tiny, so there's so much fabric to put there. So yeah, it's just so good. Oh, we have the trendsetter. Oh, what did she call herself on Carlos King's The Fashion
Uh,
Girl? The Fashion Girl,
the
Miss
delusion to be on a
Kelly
show for what, 2 years and be
Potter.
like, I set the trend here. I was like, girl, I have sweaters older than I have almost every piece of clothing in my closet that's been there longer than you've been on this show. Yeah, I think we can look at the intro to the show look and that
Mhm.
Watch What Happens Live look. She loves a structural piece. And I think that it's awful because it eats her up every time. She is a small little lady. And to just put herself in a fabric retail cocoon every time that I'm like, ma'am, I just want, I think for her, I want to bring everything out of her shoulder
Right.
to neck and roll it all down. And she just insists on putting things around her. And every look makes her look like hot Ursula every single time.
You know what? Absolutely too much, and I miss Paris, her stylist, who, by the way, I believe styled Drew, if I am not mistaken, or at least is working with Drew in some capacity. But this is it's a lot, but I don't completely hate it like I'm hating her confessional looks and
Ooh, those
her,
confessional looks this year.
yeah,
She has those boobs in her nose, just like like
just
pulled,
slap.
yanked up there. That I was like, girl, you need to breathe just a little bit. But I will say, I think this is one of my favorite hairs that I've seen on her, just because
Yeah.
it's doing a lot. It's doing too much, but normally it's doing three much. So I'll take it.
I will take it too. And you know what? I'm feeling generous. So I'm willing to give it a 7.
Fair. I will definitely go with you on that exact same number 7.
Perfect. And guys, I am putting the link in the bio so you can, you know, rate along with us and see these looks, or you can just simply type in RHOA reunion looks and they will pop up for you if you are listening. If you're watching on YouTube, hello. Let us know what you think about these looks. Now we have Drew Sidor as Drew Sidor, written by Drew Sidor, known as Drew Sidor on the game. Shout out to that new episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta where we got a Pooch Hall cameo, we got a game reference, and I just love when we talk about the game. Now, I will say that this is not one of my favorite reunion looks for this reunion, but I do appreciate a crimped hair and I respect a house of crimped hair. Now, the crimped hair with this dress, I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's a weird relationship going on from the neck up versus the neck down. I think that once again, someone else that has experimented with a lot of bad shades of blonde. This is not a bad shade for her. I actually think it does great things for her. But
Right.
leaving it all down in the crimp against the sequins, against the pattern, against the piece under the neck,
The
there's
window
just too many.
pane.
Right. There's just so many things that are happening and none of them are in agreement. And so, although I do like the hair and I do like the dress, I hate it together. For me, the dress,
Right.
we get it. For me, the dress is always for her, it's an understatement, which is weird, but that's also because we've seen some hilarious
Right.
shit on her. But like this for her is almost kind of lazy.
And Drew, I will say you are dead ass wrong getting in that confessional with the cardigan on. Don't piss me off.
Is she getting
Like,
smaller every week? She okay, number one, the sheer fact that they have her in the stairway of her own home. I don't know why. There's a beautiful room right off to the left with a grand piano and stuff, and they said you get to sit in the hallway. Also, number
correct.
two, they gave her Amazon Basics to wear for that confessional, and it gets worse every week. Even
I
though we
just
know
don't
we've been
understand.
seeing the same looks, and I hate them.
I hate that card. And then she posted it on Instagram to troll us because she's like, yep, I'm gonna own it. No, Drew, like don't piss me off. But okay, just this reunion look, I dislike it. It's in the bottom with Kelly and Pinky, which I'm going easy on Pinky because it's her first reunion.
There,
And Drew, you know better. I'm sorry. I
she
have to get
does.
it's too much jewelry too.
Yes,
Like it's just too much. Look at the hanging dangling earrings. I'm sorry, but I have to give you a 7, and that's being generous also.
I think that this would look great in person, but being on television, once you cut your neck off, you have to understand like what that does visually on a screen. It just
Mm.
doesn't open you up a little bit. And so I think for me, I'm gonna go 7.5 because it's safe. I don't hate it. It's just a matter of I don't love it the way that it's styled and put together.
And it's also because we have so many different looks. Like, look at this.
I mean,
Like, it's not fair.
yeah.
I don't really have anything to say to this but 10.
Yeah, this for me is a solid. Okay, I can't tell. Is it
Let's see.
a boa? Is it looking like like have we seen
Yes.
this in like an Instagram video? Does it move at all? Like I'm just trying to figure out what the
It's a
facets
boa.
are. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Then
because it's see how it's separated throughout.
yeah, but like
Hmm.
does that make me like it more or less? I don't know. It's just I
It doesn't look like a cheap boa though. Like it looks like a very like it's the feathers is on.
oh yeah,
That
yeah,
that
totally.
chicken is naked.
That is an endangered species. Somewhere there's some green bird walking around naked. Go naked hair. It's that bird. But
Right.
I will say I think this dress for her is really smart. I think she has the ability to look kind of square, kind of rhombusy. And so in taking those pieces in front and bringing it into the waist and like really drawing your eye in, I'm like, that's smart. Whoever styled her knows what they're doing. They know what's going to look good on television. Because again, she is a beautiful, shapely woman, but there are times that on the show, I'm like, I don't know who dressed her in that. That doesn't do anything for her.
Right.
This definitely does things for her.
Like this is a title card
Right.
dress.
Oh, yeah, please. Easy.
So what did you give it though? Just I need your
Ooh,
number. I need your
I
number.
want to give it a 9.5 because I always believe there's room for growth. A 9.8.
And that's okay. And she looking just like Lauren with that waterfall ponytail too.
Yep.
Looking just like your sister do. She just
Yup.
looks excellent. Oh, Pinky, Pinky, Pinky.
I have a
I
hot take on
want to.
this. I have a hot take
Okay,
on this.
I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm open for change, child, because I'm
I
loving these
think
looks.
because all of her looks throughout the season have looked so, I don't want to say low budget. Instead,
Fiscal.
I'm going to say pedestrian, because even if
Pedestrian.
she's wearing a sweater and leggings, you know it's an expensive sweater and leggings. I just think that her actual silhouettes are very achievable, and that's not necessarily what we look to a housewife franchise for. So I think that this is smart of her in knowing that it really
Mhm.
does pull the beauty back to her hair, make up the face. I think she's been trying to almost kind of overshadow her own facial beauty all season with these crazy wild things that she's wearing. And I kind of love how this is the first time I can say all season that she has looked upscale. Also, in knowing what
True.
we know, and there is more than likely a pregnant housewife on her side of the couch, I will say this helps. This does exactly what it's supposed to do. So I agree completely.
So are we? You managed to change my mind, and I also feel gracious because this is her first reunion.
Fair,
So I'm willing to go up to 7.5.
fair.
Okay, perfect. Now we have she just announced that she has a country single out. Go stream that. She has a country album coming out. Go stream that because we are here for Black people, Black women in country. And she's talk about Beyonce been country. K Michelle has also been country. So let
True.
us support, let us rally. And we see that that is a part of her storyline. And that has been a part of her storyline since she was on Love and Hip Hop. So she's not new to this. She's true to this. So definitely support K Michelle, and I also just love how simple this is. I mean, she's so tiny. She's another really, really tiny housewife. I know that this might be too simple for some, but I feel like with the red hair, it accentuates that forest green. And she has sequins. The boobs are on display. The curves are on display. I mean, she didn't bulk it up with jewelry. I have to give this a solid 8.
Yeah, I really like this a lot. I think that here's my thing. If you've already done reality, you've already done Love and Hip Hop, this reunion look to me reads very Love and Hip Hop. And I think that you can make it Housewives by accessorizing it properly, whether that is with an evening elbow length glove or whatever. Like, I just think that it can be elevated. I think this is a great place to start. But whether we do an updo or we add a glove or something, I just want it to look more regal and expensive. And I don't mean that as far as changing out the dress. I think the dress is perfect for her. We just have to do something. We got to add on something, bring that hair up a little bit because it is giving the best one at a Love and Hip Hop reunion.
That's fair. Okay, so then what do you give it in ratings?
Ooh, let's go 8.5, only because she has been so inconsistent this season. She could have shown up
Right,
with a 3, so, or an
right.
11. So I'm going to say this for her. I go, oh, you know what? That's a real good choice.
Our hit or miss sister, okay? Another sister, Cynthia. I mean, this is giving mother of the house glued to the show. The only complaint that I do have, what is this shoe?
The shoes, she, I don't know whether she rented them
What
or she
is
purchased
the
them
shoe?
from a Lord of the Rings clearance sale. I don't know what's happening. The shoes, the shoes. I actually didn't have a problem with the look like everyone else on the internet.
Right.
But for me, I was like, oh, but those shoes, though, are crazy.
Those are lemon pepper steppers. Like Cynthia, I feel like especially when you get movement on, like I understand this look. It's just the shoes that make it look like a Gotham villain. But the rest, I mean, Cynthia can get away with a lot due to the face card alone.
Yes.
So I'm going to give this an 8.
And I very rarely like cutouts, but I think she's super smart in how it's being used
Right.
here. I think if you close it up,
Sparingly.
right, if you close it up, you're like, that's too much black all at once. So like I actually love exactly how it's used, where it is, how big it is. Everything is exactly where it should be. I'm going full 8.
Very fun. I feel like we are the same. I mean, like these looks are excellent, ladies. Like I will say maybe top five of all time, especially for
Well,
Atlanta for
it's
me.
Atlanta. I was gonna say it's Atlanta. So there's a low bar in knowing that like even what we let black senior girls wear to their senior prom, we expect we expect
For Epsilon.
insanity, absurdity. And so we kind of let that happen. And that's the same absurdity that we expect from Potomac and Atlanta. Like we know the reunion looks are gonna be crazy every time.
Right. Right. Well, good job, ladies. I mean, like I have never, and then also it looks like I don't know what the background is, but in the pictures it looks like they're like in a reading room. Like we are going to get read down, and I just never thought the theme would be in the colors forest green, gold, and black, and those just colors just accentuate each other so amazingly.
I believe
Now,
it's an homage more than likely to the Scotland trip, I believe.
ooh, yes, Traders, which we did not get to see them
L-
play,
If they show me one more scene in a trailer that we do not get to see, I'm
and
mad
they go
as
do it.
hell. Especially in the city, they went hard on all those scenes we never saw. They
Who
took
is Katie DeLuca?
who was Katie DeLu- they said, you know what, erase her, and I'm like, nope, but I want to see something.
No, let us up. How much does she know?
Listen, if you want to segue there, I did not watch In the City all season. Couldn't do it. And then
And I don't blame you.
I took 7 hours all day and I did it start to finish. And I will tell you, I am glad that I did it start to finish because if I had to wait week by week for that, it's one of those
Be
shows
pissed.
that could hold up if you watch it all at once. Like how I watched Next Gen NYC season 1, it holds up if you watch it all at once. But if I had to like wait for these cliffhangers and stuff, I'm like, yeah, no, nope, no, I don't want that at all.
It doesn't hook you. So,
Nope.
okay, give me, because I talked about this with Ryan Bailey. Definitely go listen to So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey, where we recap Atlanta and also recap the In the City reunion, which did not need to be two parts. It could have been an email, but if anything, it should have just been one part. And every look there gave house the not housewives, Watch What Happens Live reunion. They were
Yes.
exactly where they deserved. But just your general quick thoughts on In the City and if and where you see season two going.
Number one, Ryan Bailey, return my DM. Number two,
We got you.
I think uh my real question is I have to ask objectively as a viewer,
Okay.
without Summer House, is this a show? Not really, because if you really think about it, if you take Summer House away, it can't stand on its own. And I say that in knowing that it's one of my favorite transitions ever from Vanderpump into Summer House, where they literally went to the Summer House and Stassi and all that left. And then we picked up episode 1 exactly where they left off. And I was like, that was smooth, that was good, but it was still able to stand on its own. It almost kind of like introduced us to Summer House, then walked away. In the city, Summer House introduced us, and then they stayed to make sure we were okay. They stayed every episode. It's
They
like it
stayed, and not only that, to literally popcorn on what you are saying, we are asking for more Summer House people if we're having a season two. That's how critical In the City is.
I will say, although people did not love Jason, sorry, I've only known him for a day. Because I will say the guys, other than
Which
Andrea, really kept the show moving. That I was like, I'm
okay,
surprised by
so
this.
Kenny and Gavin.
Kenny, sorry,
Okay, Kenny, yeah,
that's
he's
also
the only one who can keep
the
up with
Valley.
Lindsay too.
Also, that yeah, him and Lindsay carried the show on their backs, and I said,
Yep.
okay, somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it.
Okay, so for a season two, if we see it coming, what do you think that they need to do to change?
Either you have to bring West onto the show for Amanda or get rid of Amanda. But what we're doing now of the half in, half out, don't get me wrong, I don't need any more Amanda in my life. But what I'm saying is she has nowhere to go because nobody likes her. And so in turn, either to get us hooked, we have to see those like scenes with her and Wes just like having fun, having a lunch, having something, or get Amanda off the show completely. But her like being there and fighting back and forth and not cleaning up her laundry, that's not a plot. That's not a storyline. You're just messy. You're a hoarder. You're a hoarder, and we don't want to watch it.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck. So, okay, we're going to veer off into some territory that a lot of my peers are loving right now. We went from Summer House to Love Island, and now you guys have been dropped off at the Big Brother house. I am not a Big Brother watcher. However, I love that this is something that everyone comes together and is the other, matching point to a lot of social talk on Threads, Instagram, everywhere you go, people are talking about Big Brother. We have the live feeds going on. Me, I only know there's a lot of tension and stuff with Miss Selena Estitties.
Selena
Okay, because
is
I am
a
a
showrunner.
drag race. I am a drag race girl down. So that's who I'm rooting for telepathically. But let me know what's going on in the Big Brother space.
Cool. So let's start off with so just for those of you guys that are not really Big Brother fanatics, I'll tell you it's very much like Survivor meets like the real world where they're all in a house, except here's the element that kind of makes Big Brother special. They're on a live feed 24 hours a day. So at any point you could turn on Paramount Plus and see what they're doing in the house. That's good because you don't really get the edit once, like when they filmed my show or they filmed Survivor or whatever else, they know who already has won it. So they can go back and do a hero edit, a villain edit, or whatever else. Even Drag Race, you know whose confessionals to use way more of because they end up in the end. For this show, they are only giving us episodes 12 hours behind what we're seeing. So in turn, they're editing it as we go. It's very much like Love Island in that there's no such thing as a good or bad edit. We just get all the information and we kind of just make the choices for ourselves. So there's no real hero or villain. So with that said, because there's no real hero or villain, there's a lot of downtime. These people kind of become your friends when you're like cleaning the house and leave the live feed on and they're just like talking about shit like in the living room and you're just like there without having to
Just like me.
no, honestly, it's great. Like that's why I love listening to like a podcast because it's a conversation I don't have to participate in, and that's great. And so it's that, but I will say Miss Selena from Drag Race is in the house as Jason. He didn't want to play as a Drag Race. Also, to be honest, CBS, being one of the more conservative networks, has not made any mention of Drag Race or any real mention of the fact that like he was on another show. But there are contestants that are just like everyday people like you and me that have also been on Drag Race, Beast Games, American Idol, but because they're not on CBS shows, we're not acknowledging it. We're just going to pretend like they're normal people. And so the current thing with Jason is that, and this is a discussion that I think you can even hop in on. He is the only, like, not, he is one of the only few people of color on the cast, and he is the only real LGBTQ representation. And because you're cut off from the outside world, no TVs, no anything, they are in there for 3.5 months. They don't even, there are weeks where they're doing challenges in the backyard, so they're not even allowed outside. And so they lose their mind in there, just like not seeing sunlight and stuff. And they're playing 24 hours a day. He's lonely. He's real lonely.
Yeah.
And there's a meme going around right now of him, he's crying and he looks up at the camera and he says, I miss gay people. And I'm like, yeah, literally, when you've surrounded yourself as an adult with a community that knows you,
Right.
supports you, or whatever else, and now you're with all these people from, let's say, conservative areas or the Midwest or whatever else, and it's just a matter of like, they don't get you. And even worse
Yeah.
so, they don't want to. And you're just there.
Right.
And you're like, it's it's hard to watch. Like I want him to stay and I want him to do well, but a part of me, when you're like, I
At
want him
what
out of there, I like
cost?
need him out of there. Yeah, because I don't think it's doing good things for his mental health right now.
Yeah, at what cost? I hate to hear that, but that is real. Um, and I'm rooting for whatever outcome they want. I mean, I think that they are making history right on the show. And I also saw that there may have been like not an offhand comment, like a comment that someone was like, "Oh, miss me with that drag queen shit" or something like that.
Yeah, so he's currently being targeted by a UFC fighter in the house, which, like, again, when they
Why are
say
you a
when they
UFC?
say they're like casting real people, that's a guy from the UFC, and
Yeah,
you're like, okay, this is not a real person, but okay,
that's
sure.
not it. Yeah, that's like like you're. I would be like, this is the guy from the Island. Like,
Right,
what are we talking? These are not regular people.
right.
Jason, that's something that has
These are
titties. Like,
just
what are you talking about?
just regular people who just hang out in the UFC ring. Anyway, so and he is very much just like any straight broy Joey that's like miss you with that drag stuff. You'll never catch me to dress or whatever. And like they don't realize that like that's the thing with this show. A lot of people have been canceled because there's no edit. Like that's why I can never be on this show because I say things too quick without thinking about it and thinking like, oh well, they'll never use that in the edit, and there is no edit because the feeds are live, so they are dropping things and saying things that you're like, ugh, I wouldn't say that. And like even one of my amazing black queens on the show is a special ed she's a guidance counselor at an elementary school, and she said to one of the girls that was acting up, she said, listen, and this was again not in like a house situation, just like a very casual conversation, that she was like, listen, I don't know anyone that acts like that does not have an IEP. And I was like, oh, like again, that would not have made the edit normally in any other show, but because it's a live feed, I was like, this is not going to go well. And so like it's one of those where like as an educator you can say that. And so like it's hard
It's
because you want the
so
people to live
niche.
real lives, but you can't edit them anymore.
One thing about me, you get me in that house, that whole show might be taken off air. So
CBS, you'll know when the CBS editors lose it because mid sentence, mid word, they cut the feed and they put up a Big Brother logo. They'll be like, you know who I hate? Big Brother. And you're like, oh, there we go. Oh, somebody caught it. Somebody caught it. Every time. You're like,
they might want to delay it by like 5, 10 minutes before like
literally every season, someone's like, you know what women need less of logo. You're like, yep, there we go. There we go. And
time
like
you finish
someone
it.
was said, you know what, this is not going to end well. I don't know how it's going to end, but it's not going to end well. So currently on this day, about a half hour ago, there is that same UFC fighter that is targeting our girl had a video resurfaced from his own Instagram. Like this is from his Instagram. And someone in the background is saying, I can't breathe. And he says on this Instagram video, he looks in, he goes, can't breathe. She's just like George Floyd. Ugh. Now, again, in his head, he thought that was hilarious. And like my issue is, I was like, listen, I think a lot of things are hilarious that I know I cannot say outside of my own head because you don't know who it's going to affect or who it's going to affect, especially in going on to a reality show. Can I tell you, when I was in final auditions for The Circle on Netflix, they went back and scrubbed my socials from years ago because I think I told you this story. Apparently, I had a bunch of really aggressive tweets towards Jordan Sparks in 2009, and I don't know why. Because I've never met that woman. I've never met that woman. And the producer was like, what did you have against Jordan Sparks? And I said, what do you mean? And
I
they
was
pulled
just
up the
about to
tweets
say,
they pulled up the tweets and I said, I don't know who that was. Like it was 10 years earlier. I don't know what it was, but something about that woman, she said one step at a time. And I said, no, no Jordan Spark. And so I went back, I deleted it, but still there are so many things on social media that you have to be like, people are going to be looking at me. You got to scrub it. You got to clean it up.
oh my God. I think that this comes down to also a huge producer misstep because as far as 2020 was 6 years ago, it was literally just 2020. And also that's on his Instagram. That's what I'm saying when people are doing casting for whether it's Housewives to Love Island, you can literally get a person for $10 an hour just to scroll down and just watch or look or read just on plain social media because this isn't like it's a resurfaced video from a paywall or a Snapchat of a person. This is, you just told me this was on
It
their
was in the man's
Instagram.
highlights. No, no, no. It was in the highlights. You could click on
Not
the
just the
circles.
Instagram,
Not
the
the
highlights. He thought that was so funny that he was like, actually, this was a great day. Let me let you put that up
nailed
there
it.
for every
Got him.
single day.
Highlights.
I would love to see the Big Brother logo and it's just him without out of the house, point
Right,
blank,
no,
period.
but like, so I don't know if the show's going to do anything or whatever else because again, this has all happened within the past hour. So like, I have no idea what's going
Yeah.
to come of
And
it.
that's what's
But
so good about Big Brother that I'm seeing now that like right now things are happening between I miss gay people, they need an IEP, and now this horrible, not even funny thing that's going on. It's just like this is who they are. Uh tell me what is I've never known. What is the voting element of it all?
cool. So every week there's a head of household. So like you win a competition. It airs every Sunday, but we know that the head of household normally happens on Saturday mornings if you watch the live feed. And that whoever wins that gets to nominate three people for eviction. Then throughout the week, they campaign and stuff to try and convince the other people to not vote them out. Then every Thursday night, a cast member is evicted from the house. And so really so this UFC fighter is the head of household for this week. And Jason slash Helena has been nominated. And so now we wait a few hours to see if she will stay in the house.
Wow, because it literally is as we record, it's Thursday, almost 8 p.m.
Yup.
So we'll be finding that out very soon and you will be keeping us updated, child. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, one last hot topic because I just wanted to come on here and yap. Like I
Always.
love talking to Philip. So good for my soul. You guys also love our chemistry. They always are like, hey, you and Philip are amazing together. So that's why I'm just like, hey, are you ready? Like, what's going
All
on?
day, every day.
Quickly, have you seen Devil Wears Prada 2?
I have not. And I'm going to tell you why. My hot take is I haven't seen Devil Wears Prada 1. And I believe in not being a traitor and being one of those that only sees the sequel because I think it's weird.
That is weird. I
I
just want to,
know.
oh, public announcement. It's now streaming on Disney Plus. Both of them, if not, if the first one might be on HBO Max, but just for you guys, just like it's just such a good, fun watch. If you are a fashion girl, if you're an Anne Hathaway girl, nigga. If you are a Lady Gaga girl, like just it's a good watch. And I think that there is something to say it's not necessarily a positive thing because this was supposed to be like this was supposed to be movie of the year. And it came out, it had its big moment, but was the moment really big enough? So much so that it skipped the whole rent us for $20 and went straight to Disney. Like you just watch it on Hulu. So that's just something I want to leave you guys to ponder with. But lastly, we got Taylor Frankie Paul, Taylor Frankie Pauling. She posted a photo of things that she collects. And we know that she is in a very heated fight, custody fight with both of her baby daddies. Ghetto. One being her ex-husband, Tate, the other, Dakota. You know Dakota. Dakota's recently gone public with his girlfriend, Shania, friend of the cast. So, because he got to get his storyline the way that he can.
Fair.
And on the photo that Taylor Frankie Paul posted, she kept a letter from Dakota and posted it. And people were just like, what are you doing? Not only has this man treated you terribly, keep going back to him, we already know that. But now you're at the point where you are literally battling for custody of your child. And they even the most recent update in the custody is that she rejected an agreement that would give her some more time with her kids. But I believe that there's more to that. I think that Dakota and Tate have both been running to the blogs, and I do think that they are in cahoots. Point blank, period. But with that being said, why add this fuel to the fire if you're trying to paint this person out to be the abuser, which of course, like I believe that there was abuse on both sides. Um, a terrible person who's trying to keep the kids away from the mom. Why are you posting a picture? And even like if keeping the love letter is one thing, but posting it is another. Do you think it was motivated by him going public with his new girlfriend, who's the friend of Cass, Shania?
I just think that there has to be reality television rules of engagement. The same way that that, let's say, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, once Dorit posted those text messages from Kyle before the reunion, once the actual screenshots go up, that relationship is over. Like, I just think you could argue and yell and scream all day, but once you start posting evidence, I think it gets icky and gross. And then we lose that trust between, is it for the show or is it like an off camera situation? What's hard for Taylor is that she makes all of her money off of online engagement and outrage. That is her job, that she doesn't know how to do anything else. And so, in turn, it's hard to get that engagement when all she's doing is going to rehab and going to counseling and bettering herself. So as much as I say this is a hot mess and nobody needs to see it, do we want to see her doing Pilates and going to see a therapist? Probably not. So I guess I understand to get your money, get your bag, but like it is also very telling that no one on the cast really posts with her. They didn't want to shoot the second half of the season with her. Like, I think if you have to look around and there's nobody there, you have to now look in the mirror and be like, what did I do? Where am I in life?
Reflect. Because
Reflect, please.
I think the thing is that I get with Taylor, she's of the mind that all publicity is good publicity and this is my job, but this is now bleeding over to her personal life. If
Yeah.
you are arguing in court and trying to get your kids and saying, "Hey, this is my abuser. He's done X, Y, and Z and he's keeping me away from my kids." You do not then go and post a love letter that he wrote you. That seems like it would hurt your case. So that is the mind that I'm at when it comes to this. And Taylor, just learn how to literally decipher what is going to generate headlines without hurting you having a relationship with your kids that you are literally fighting for.
Literally, at this, you just have to learn to have problems that match your age. Every time I see her having an issue, I go, these are some 23-year-old as hell issues. And like, she's not 23 anymore. Like,
She's
it
not.
would be like the same way that like the Lala that we're watching now is having 36, 7, 8-year-old like problems and issues. If she was still the 10 years ago one, I'd be like, that's an issue. That's why we can't stand Jax Taylor and Tom Sandoval because they haven't evolved. And we're looking for that level of evolution out of her, which we still haven't seen. Something, it might, this is also where it gets weird with the whole like Utah religion thing. Something stunted her maturity and her growth. And between the housewives and her and whatever else, there's something that does not let those women evolve and move on. And I don't know what it is.
I don't either, child. I mean, speaking of really quickly, it while we're talking about obviously the Utah Mormon wives, Sheena allegedly wanted to be on the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives after that Vanderpump Rules break. And I say to you, Sheena, think bigger. You are literally connected to each and every franchise on Bravo. At this point, if she says she knows something about Potomac, you know something about Potomac. Sheena, you are bigger than this. And I'm not saying that this show isn't big. It's huge. It's changed Hulu. It's changed the way people are putting out their shows. They're on Dancing with the Stars. They're starting production companies. They're doing everything. But Sheena, be better. This girl is desperate. You have your own brand. She can have just the way that Stotzi has a show right now that's on that I will not be watching that we do not fuck with at all.
I
I'm sorry,
literally
I'm
was
never
like,
gonna
we
fuck with
didn't
her.
forget number one. Number one, we did not forget.
Like, like I don't care how much PR and how many black people you put at the beginning of the show. It's fuck Stassi over here. The same way that she has House of Stassi, imagine what you can do on your own, baby girl. And if you don't want to, the Valley is always right there, and we could use you right now. And I say this as a fan of the Valley who is continuing to talk about it. Okay, stop, Sheena Shay. What do you think about that?
You want better for her, and I want worse. I think that it's so funny. And like okay, my example is I was
Tell
on
me.
Threads last night as per your recommendation. I'm on there every night doing my homework, my throne work.
Mhm.
I'm on it on the Threads, and someone someone started a thread that said, "Do celebrities even read Threads?" And there were no responses from like anyone notable. And Sheena Shay writes the hands up emoji and she goes, "I'm right here." And I go, "Girl, that's what I love. I love that she will go to the opening of a paper bag. Like, I love that for her. And she will bring her own photographer with her, make up a red carpet. Like, I love that for her because I just think that that is so all of us when we're like trying to stay relevant, but we still want to like look cool. She doesn't have that about her. She doesn't want to look cool. She wants to be like, "Hey guys, I'm still here." Like, I think that's hilarious. And that's my favorite thing about her. She said, "Well, Rock was Mormon once. I could be on that show." And you're like, "No, baby, that's not how the show works." But like, still, you're like, "You know what? Thank you for trying, though. Thank you so much."
Okay, so we have our opinion split. I'm a no. It sounds like you are a yes. You would love to see her on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
I
So,
need to see her in all the places she does not belong. Top Chef, Project Runway, Give It to Me, Discovery, Shark Week, Swimming in the Ocean. I don't care. I don't care. I want to keep seeing her on things that she has no business being in.
okay, I love that for, you know what? For Sheena, mainly,
Right.
because that's what she
It
wants.
only works for her. I'm like, that's the brand. Duh.
Oh God, I love you so much. Thank you for coming to chat with me. Tell us where and what we could do to support you always.
Amazing. I am always on pretty much every form of social media. You can either find me on Instagram, Threads, or at Costco like a normal person. Hit me up on anything, including OnlyFans. I don't have one yet. I should though, right? No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, well, I'm saying with that body, I
I
mean, you're
have a
missing
black
a lot.
mother. Get out of here. Absolutely not.
So does
She lives in New Jersey, and even in Austin, I feel someone like snatch me out of nowhere. Like, I don't know. No, I can't be doing that. Anyway, in the meantime,
I
Instagram at
tried, y'all.
I'm sorry about it. I'm sorry about it. At Phillip Solomon. Hit me up, whatever it is. I respond to whatever it is. If you want to talk reality, if you want to talk anything, if you're just like, "Yo, listen, I'm having a rough day," I got you. Not a problem.
Perfect. All right. Well, you heard Philip, you heard me. Follow me at blah 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 black. Stream this, and we have ad-free episodes on Patreon. Always. Thank you so much for anyone who is new here, old here, has been rocking with me. Thank you. We love you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.